Welcome to my kitchen, friends. Today we're going to be making a traditional Italian dish called Caprese. Now, I'm sure you've had a Caprese salad some point in time, and many times they are year-round on menus of Italian food restaurants. But let me tell you, I love to make a Caprese at home, and I love to make them with really amazing tomatoes. Now, it is September now. It's really towards the end of tomato season, although I have a couple of Roma tomatoes, the plants that I have in my yard, and I'm really holding out hope for them, so we'll see what happens. But I'm going to show you today two different ways to make a caprese. The first is a traditional way, and the second is not. This second way is actually really great with a green salad. You could turn this into a sandwich and take some really amazing bread and toast it up, and then put that over your sandwich, toast it up a little bit. But regardless, let's get going with the caprese. You can see here, this is the traditional method that we're doing first. We have our mozzarella cheese, and you don't need fancy buffalo mozzarella unless you want to get some buffalo mozzarella cheese, but just regular mozzarella cheese. And as I'm slicing these tomatoes, if you find that the tomatoes are a little bit hard to puncture, just puncture it with the tip of your knife, okay? But we don't want to mush the tomatoes. We want like a nice clean piece of tomato, and then to accompany that with our mozzarella cheese. So here's the one thing you need to know about this dish is if you're just going to put a regular tomato onto a piece of ho-hum mozzarella, you're going to get what you get, meaning you're not going to get something spectacular. Look for really fresh organic tomatoes. I actually did a whole video for my cooking club about how to determine a really good tomato for your caprese salad. So if you're not already in the cooking club, you may want to get in on that. I share 4 recipes a month, plus we have a cooking class each month that comes with your membership. This month, we're making tomato soup and grilled cheese sandwiches, and we're elevating it a little bit. It's going to be delicious. But anyway, for my cooking club members, there is going to be a video in the portal that shows everything you need to know about tomatoes. So we are layering our tomato and our mozzarella. The one thing I want you to know about cutting the fresh basil, we're not like finely dicing this. We're doing strips because I want you to taste the basil. I don't want you to get mushy, like super teeny tiny fine bits. If we cut the herbs too much, then the good oils from your herb will end up on your cutting board and not in your dish. So we're just going to slightly slice the basil, and then we're going to add that to the top of our tomato. The one thing we need to know about tomato, you have to salt it properly. If there's no salt on there, it's going to taste like a different deal altogether. If you appropriately salt your tomato, then what's going to happen is it's going to bring out the flavor on the tomato. So make sure that's salted. And then we're going to top it off with some balsamic glaze. Now, if you've never heard of balsamic glaze, it's really amazing. I get mine from Thrive Market. There's a link below if you've never shopped at Thrive Market before. So check that out. And that's pretty much it. For our second way that we're making this caprese salad, I found that pretty much always you can find cherry tomatoes. So if you are having a hard time finding the big, beautiful, wonderful heirloom tomatoes, just get some cherry tomatoes. We're going to cut those in half. And for this kind of caprese, my husband actually loves it when I get the smaller balls of mozzarella cheese that are already marinated in olive oil and Italian spices. This actually does save you one step. I mean, you can still add Italian spices if you want, but it's already been marinated in it. So we're going to be cutting up our mozzarella to match the size of the tomato. Okay, so in this case, I quarter the mozzarella to match the size of the tomato. And then we're going to do the same thing that we did previously. We're going to just be finally slicing that basil. You make like a little, my mom used to call it a herb pocket. Kind of roll it up, and you just finally slice the herbs so that you get these lovely strips, and that's it. We're going to add some salt to the top, but remember, because there is mozzarella, the mozzarella is still, it's a little bit salty. So with these cherry tomatoes, since you don't have a huge slice of tomato, you don't need to salt them as much as you would if you were making a traditional caprese. But make sure you salt it, and then we're going to top it again with our balsamic glaze and with our fresh basil. You can use the second type of caprese. This is a side dish. This could top a green salad. This could be so many different things, but sometimes I just make one of those as a side, and my family loves it because it is that same caprese taste, but it's a little bit different, and I don't have to scour the earth for amazing tomatoes, if you know what I mean. So those were my 2 ways to make a caprese. If you have not gone in on our cooking club, I'm going to put a link below. I would love to share recipes like this with you that are quick, and they're easy and healthy, and it's not going to be a ton of time and effort for us to make an amazing meal. All right, friends, this is it for me today. I'm sending you lots of love from my house to yours, and make sure you like and subscribe and share this with a friend who you think needs a caprese salad in their life. Take care.